Pocket Watch Podcast.
Hey, welcome to Pocket Watch Podcast. It's Zach,
Chris, Jake,
Antonio Fernandez.
Hey, I know y'all heard the switch up. I know you guys definitely heard that fucking switch up. No, y'all definitely heard that switch up. That was something different, man. That man came in with the fuego, bro.
It's
that was
the
like,
remix.
hey, that was dope. I like that.
Hey, Antonio Fernandez here, beatboxer, music producer, singer. He's signed with Disney Records, Dcappellamusic. It's like a acapella group that goes around. If you don't know what it looks like, think of Pitch Perfect. They're fucking monsters. He's got like the beatbox vibe. He can sing. He's making music. We got a lot to get into. This is going to be a dope episode. Thank you for tuning in another week. We love you guys.
Like, follow, share, subscribe. Tell your mom to come holler at us.
Your father.
Tell your sister.
Tell him Antonio Fernandez on the pod. He just did a sick beatbox. You got to go hear it.
Got to check it out.
Got to check it out.
Yeah, for sure, man. I know our watch time in the intro is going to be high. And if you didn't watch the intro, if you just skipped over and you're one of those people that just hit plus 15 real fast.
That's what I do.
You got to go back, bro.
Yeah, go back because we remixed it.
Yeah, that shit was fake. We didn't remix it. He remixed it.
Yeah. we sent him the beat. No, I'm just kidding. That
was on the fly.
That was on the fly.
On the fly, man.
That was the equivalent of like jumping on a like Sway or something and doing your freestyle.
Nah, because
you know what I mean?
if you go on Sway and you're a rapper, you fucking know. You better have a fucking some fuego ready.
No, we told him. We sat down. And we were like, "Hey, so you think you could remix this real quick?"
Like, sure, why not?
That's funny. That was good though. I fuck with that. That was nice.
Super dope, man. Yeah, that's right. What's up, bro?
Yo.
Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for reaching out, man.
Yeah, for sure. We reach out to people all the time. It's a show. We're trying to get guests, stuff like that. We've had a lot of rappers on recently and stuff, and I was getting criticism for it. I like it. We're having a pulse on Orlando right now, right? We got our hand on the pulse. But I was like, guys, this guy's not a rapper. He's an artist. Hear me out. He is not like what we're talking about. Beatboxing, producer, stuff that we like that's the creativeness and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're attaching it with strategic moves and the way you're going about your journey is dope. And this is what we like to talk about right here. This is what I like. This is really cool, man.
Yeah, I like it.
So let's get into it, man. Drop the music down because we're getting real serious now.
Oh,
okay. This is getting like super serious.
You're probably.
Yo, actually, after this episode, we're gonna keep you. And we're just gonna record you, do a bunch of.
Yo, for real.
Oh my god, saving it.
We're trying to save $1.99 on whatever platform we buy these.
Free sample.
That's perfect.
That's funny as fuck.
Let's get into it, bro. So you're obviously doing a lot of shit, right? We just named off a bunch of different stuff you're doing. Creative, music, really awesome. How did you first of all, how old are you? 31, living in Orlando, from Seattle?
From Seattle.
Right? So when did you leave Seattle? Why did you leave Seattle? How did that go?
So I lived in Seattle, never thinking I'd live in Orlando, Florida. I wanted to be where it could snow on Christmas. This is obviously not the place.
No,
not at all. Man.
This year was almost. This year was close.
Yeah.
We're making dreams come true.
Actually, it was colder here than it was in Seattle on Christmas Day.
I believe
it was
it.
like 30. And
yeah, we
like
had the Arctic blast.
Yeah, crazy. But so I was out in Seattle and was studying music in college and knew I wanted to go out to LA. That was the whole goal. Met the right person that connected me to a show that he was creating here in Orlando at Disney. And so I sent in that video and literally it was immediate. Like I was in college, supposed to be going to Orlando summertime. So I was like, cool, this is my last year.
Internship or something like that?
Well, I was thinking with this job with Disney. So I'd be able to like go here for a year, maybe go back like if I need to, whatever. But starting in summer, my last year in college. So great, I'll graduate. Got the call saying, congratulations, you got the job. Number 1, you have to cut your hair. Number 2, you have 7 days to decide. And number 3, it starts in April, which is a month and a half before graduation.
Oh, they made you cut your hair?
I told them,
Whoa.
Let's see if we can get my hair. They said that they would see if they can get my hair approved.
Wow.
Which they did.
Okay.
Thankfully.
Okay. Yeah, it was Disney. I was going to say, Disney's supposed to be woke
Disney.
and everything.
Come on now.
They are now. But
Yeah.
honestly, I am maybe the first performer with dreadlocks at Disney World performing.
And this was 2017. Right?
2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I looked at Disney just regular in 2014. They
Yeah,
were
that's
strict on
true.
the nails, the hair,
Yeah.
everything.
It was a full on Disney
So
look.
how did they get you approved? Did you have to send pictures?
Well, I mean, they already like
Had your
saw
video,
the,
yeah.
it was like a whole resume and everything and photos. So yeah, I don't know who it had to go through. Eventually, get to Mickey Mouse. Like,
Yeah, right.
So
Yo, shout out to Mickey, bro. Those dreads are beautiful.
Yeah, for real.
been growing up since 2009.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, if you cut him, that's a fast growth, bro.
Yeah,
I was going to say, but
Yeah.
damn,
So,
that's
but-
dope, though.
Would you have cut him?
no,
Or would you have just said, all right, this ain't the opportunity?
yeah, I would say no.
Right?
Yeah, because you got to stand firm.
That's
on
a
your
crazy
decision.
change to ask for. Like,
I
this
know.
ain't, you're not asking me to be like I can understand that for like military or take it
Right.
take it a step lower, like a team or something.
Yeah.
I get
Right.
that. Take it even. I can understand if you're like a businessman, right? Like if my
Right.
job said, "Look, bro, you can't have." But dreads are different.
Yeah.
Totally fucking
That's
different.
all on how you
But
take
I
care
can
of 'em.
understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Talking about haircut, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
haircut's not there. We need you to do this haircut.
yeah.
color.
As long as you're like
Yeah.
clean cut, I don't think it matters.
Come on,
bro,
man!
you know?
Like in the creative
Yeah.
space and performance and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You look like Tarzan. You actually played. I played him twice,
That's funny as
or
fuck.
sang his songs. Anyways, okay, so that's good to know. Yeah, I don't know. I only asked that because not, everybody, you went to school for this. Like, that's
Yeah.
obviously not just something that's a dream of yours and stuff. So to get like a glimpse of opportunity and then the immediate ask to change how you look and everything is like,
Right.
It's tough, man.
That's a hard
Yeah.
thing. That's
especially
why I asked.
especially when Disney hits you up too. It's like
I know.
that's a huge opportunity. Then they say, "Yeah, it's great. We love you. We love everything you are." But snip, snip.
Yeah.
That actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting Disney to be like that. To be honest.
And even the life change with college, like,
Yeah.
to me at that moment, it's like you're super close to graduating. So it's like that's the only thing you're focusing on. It's like running away from that, all of this money I'm
Yeah,
putting
you're
into this.
telling me this. Yeah.
Yeah. So all to say, I graduated and I moved. I moved
Oh, okay.
and I was like, let me figure this out later. And I figured it out later. And I'm now graduated.
Oh, congratulations, bro! That's dope.
Yeah.
I was gonna have that one of my follow up questions. Is did you actually get to finish school?
Yeah. It's kind of a crazy thing that happened. So with my degree, all I had is a year of a language for a music degree. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
A year of a language for music. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, I gotta
Literally-
do this in Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take Spanish.
Literally 4 years later, I just sent in an email. Okay, this is during COVID. I was like, well, I got all the time now. So let me just finish up this degree. I sent in an email and a new advisor said, I don't know how this happened, but somehow it's saying that your year of a language has been fulfilled. I wouldn't ask questions. I would just apply to graduate. And I was like, done. And
Wow.
literally went apply to graduate, waited, got the diploma. I was like, oh my God.
What?
I didn't have to do a year of a language. Like,
Blessings.
Yep. Just got it. I was like,
That's
See,
blessing.
and two things. Like it is, schools need to hold themselves accountable for not putting you through stupid stuff, right?
Yes.
Like what quote unquote stupid stuff. Like language is cool. Like that's a good thing to like put somebody through like a year of language, whatever. But like people that are trying to get to their end point, the excuse to not go to school or the reason obviously to not go to school would be I got to take a year of language. Like, what does that have to do with this or that?
Yeah.
But the benefits are because you mentioned like there's benefits and especially something like music, right? Where that's something like, fam, don't go to school for music. Like, do music. You know what I mean? Like, it's a talent industry. It's not about what you know or whatever. And then it's like contraire. Like I bet you, A, you have some different insights from going to school, but B, your connection came from school, right?
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely what I learned
Connection.
in college, being in vocal jazz, all the different choirs, music theory, learning piano, the teachers that were the mentors throughout the whole process.
Yeah.
Like that is most definitely what brought me to reach for excellence in the way that I just started in my career was because of that.
Yeah.
And do I need further education? No. In our career in music, it's like, can you do the gig or not?
Yeah.
School or not, can you do the gig? So that's where it's like, it's cool that like, it doesn't matter resume wise, whenever we go to whatever gig, it's just like, show up, do the work, and put in extra work, because like your work that you do now speaks volumes for what people will call you or won't call you for later on.
Yeah, exactly. Man, for sure.
That's true.
Because it's twofold. It's like, I mean, if I want to do this anyways, I got to be good. Like you said, like, can you do the gig or not? But if you think you're good, why not go to school for it if you have nothing going on? Right? Like, if you got a lot going on, do you, bro? Like, you're going crazy. Like, like, that's a waste of time. But, like, if you're like, I really want to do this, I don't got nothing going on, I know I'm good, I'm doing this or that for exposure, what else can I do? Go to school for it. And not just to learn about it. You could learn some things, you could be more well-rounded in it, but the connection part is something I don't think people put, like, value on, right?
It's huge.
Because when you said you went to, that was 2014?
2015. No.
2015 is when I moved, but 2014 is when I met Tim Davis.
Oh, okay. 2015?
Yeah.
Is when you met Tim Davis?
2014 is when I met him.
Okay, and that was from school, right?
Yeah, so in school we had it was kind of like Pitch Perfect in real life, where it was competing college a cappella groups one against another. And so a family friend from one of the people in the a cappella group reached out to Tim saying, hey, would you be able to help critique us before we go out for this gig in LA? He's like, hey, meet me at East West Studios, which I had no idea what that studio was at the time. Turns out it's the same studio room that Frank Sinatra recorded My Way in. I think Beyonce was coming in after us at like 3 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Nuts. And I was like floored, just the space that we were in.
Where is that at?
A lot of creativity.
That was in LA. So did you guys go to LA to do competitions? Or
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
but it was, he went around the whole circle, and this is where it's like, you know, who you know, being able to present yourself in an authentic, best foot forward.
Yep.
Like, he went around the circle like, so what do you want to do with, like, post college? Like, what are you feeling? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I was like, I was last, and I was like, okay, I want to be a drummer, I want to be a beatboxer, I want to be a singer, I want to be a gospel singer, I want to like anything that I could like say. I said it. And however all things aligned, he hung out with us a couple days. On another day, we were at Capitol Records in that parking lot. He just like silently pulled me to the side, like, hey, can you send me a demo? And I was like, I don't know what a demo is, but yes. And thankfully had friends over the next month, like, both push me to make it happen and also help actually make it happen, produce me to like send in that like 3-minute demo. And it's still on his website from the one I did forever ago. It's weird listening to my beatboxing from years ago.
Really?
I gotta redo that. But yeah, that's the one that, like, he is the guy that turned me from student to working.
Yeah.
Starting in 2014.
Yeah. See,
nuts.
And we'll leave it right after this. That's why you go to school. Like, people, for that. If you, like, there's a chance for that. And if you didn't go to school, you could argue you didn't get that shot. You know what I mean? Even though you're just as talented, positive. You know what I mean?
But I mean, if there's somebody like a social butterfly, say somebody who really talks and everybody he speaks to, that person can network enough to get himself into a position as well. I mean, school, yes, is pivotal because it's very much more easier. You make friends like nothing. But for those who don't have the financial resources to be able to do that, I mean, you know, being that social butterfly can really help out.
It's definitely harder.
Totally.
I think too, like, people, like, I don't mean go into debt, but I mean, like, you could smartly go into debt. Like, I think
it's an investment.
Instead of buying a car, you could go into $15,000 of school debt. Like, easy. Like, that's my debt.
Sadly, now is like a quarter.
Yeah, I was like,
think about maybe a
he
year,
probably
2
was
years of school
50,
right there,
not 15.
No, I mean, I would not, but I mean, like, I'm not talking about Tesla or nothing like that. I'm talking about like a used Honda.
No, I get what you're saying.
No, I did 2 years at UCF, $13,000. That's my, you know, but I went into debt my last 2 years, not my first 2 years. My first 2 years, community college and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I mean, like, anybody can really afford it. It's just, you got to do it smart. I don't mean just go to the biggest school you can and do all 4 years and, like, loan it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not a good idea, brother. Like, don't you dare do that, you know? But, like, it's an option to think about. And we'll move on from that. Because you proved, Antonio proved it's a perfect option to think about for the networking factor. Otherwise, you got to supplement that time with, like, going to networking events constantly.
Well, that's the thing, is like, school or not, all it is the willingness to take risks, to put yourself out there, to promote yourself, and to be willing to ask questions and to be humbled, being like asking, praying, thinking, hoping, meditating, whatever, that you're going to be in front of circles of people that are better than you.
That's true.
And being willing to learn and to connect and to contribute. But that willing to take a risk is like the number one thing. Because like if I didn't take the risk of like joining the acapella group, I would have never met him.
It's
Absolutely.
so true. Because like you could go to school for it and not do these groups.
Totally.
And then that's the thing that got you out there.
Yeah.
Right. So
willingness.
100%. And then the other argument is, I will say against it is, yeah, but like if you're good at what you do and you're social and you're outgoing, there's an argument that you would have had that moment eventually.
Eventually, yeah.
Might take
Anyways,
longer.
you know.
Yeah, totally.
Let me ask you a question. Do you deal with social media at all? Or do you like make videos online at all or no?
I actually, as of recent, have been starting to step up my game in that
Because
way.
I've actually seen a bunch of like people who do like beatbox for that on like social media, TikToks for that.
Yeah.
And man, they make killings, bro.
Yeah.
On that stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's definitely some good money in that too.
He's got a
Totally.
couple. You got some on there.
Yeah, I got a few. What I've been trying to step into is now that I've been, beatboxing for years,
Yeah.
around the world, and with Disney, I'm now stepping into a realm of like showing people like some cool tricks, but also
Yeah.
like teaching people. Some people legitimately want to learn,
Yeah.
but they don't want to learn in front of a professional beatboxer. They're like, no, not around you, man.
Yeah.
But doing a quick little thing, like I did a guitar thing where I was like, guitar, it's like step 1, 2, 3, and eventually you get to.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
But it's like by itself is like, how do you do that? So to be able to break it down in a couple steps helps people to learn.
I think that's good. I think that's why you get good views and stuff for it too. Because not only like for me, what I like about what you do is I don't want to learn, but I like you breaking it down. Because there's a lot of people that just do it like what you did, right? Like those listening.
Crew's beatbox in the shower.
Yeah, all the time. I beatbox. I beat me. I beat.
Pause. Wait a minute.
No,
Wait a minute.
But
Pause.
anybody could go on and they kill it, right? Like there's a market out there of great beatboxers, right?
Right.
So and you say and you're just like, I don't understand. Like I feel like it's fake. I feel like they're moving their mouth and there's like a speaker playing.
Right.
But when in your videos, it's kind of cool when you go like, here 5 sounds, like
Right.
bam, 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 and then you put them all together.
Totally.
And then it's like, that's what he's doing. Like
Yeah.
that's interesting too.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, there's always a hint of magic with beatboxing, which I love, that I like found this niche that people have known about since the 80s with like people meeting up on the street,
Yeah.
rapping, beatbox. And it's like, it's always been a thing.
Yeah.
But like, it's still a language that people are like, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So it's fascinating that it's like, there's the world of beatboxing is like endless.
Bro, every time I make I do beatboxing or like we're in high school or something,
Yeah.
using the pencil and the desk or whatever.
yeah.
I always thought about like how much pressure that is, like being the beatboxer for like one of those in the streets battle raps or something like that. Because if you fuck up the beat, like you fuck up everything. And you know what? And that guy is like, he has to do it for everybody. Like he
Right.
doesn't get a break. Right.
Yeah,
And
and
like
like-
that guy's not doing it. Like I'll do you, but I'm not doing this guy. No, I got to do the beats for both. And it's like,
and like for me at Disney, I have paid equity singers that are relying on me as the drummer to keep in tempo for a full show. That if I rush, I make their job more difficult. Or if I go way too slow, I make their job difficult. So it's like people are relying on me. I'm not just like jamming, doing whatever. I learned real quick that my grooves might be on time, but my fills were way too fast.
Yep.
And then it was this whole thing. I was like, okay, I got to make sure I line all this up because people rely on you.
I love that's even more like I made a stupid example. What you do is way more pressure because you're doing it for a long time and it's like a song. It's not like a freestyle.
Right.
So for those that don't know, we mentioned signed with Dcapella, Disney Records, stuff like that. He goes around and he does these acapella shows with the team and stuff all around the world. Really dope. But he's like the beatbox guy, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
you do a lot of the beatbox stuff, right?
Yeah, so in the group, it's if you imagine like a band,
Yep.
you
Yeah.
have the drums, you have the bass, and then you have like the background singer / the horns or strings, and then you have the lead vocalist. So for the most part, I'm the drummer. Sometimes I'm like the sound effects on like some ballad stuff or
Yeah.
Yeah.
for like sweeping stuff, Pocahontas songs or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the groove is me.
That's pretty cool. That's dope.
And that's
And another thing I wanted to ask you is that, so is a lot of your stuff basically just like going by ear, or do they actually give you sheet music to read?
So it's funny when we look at the sheet music because we've been we've
Yeah.
recorded now like 75 songs
Okay.
throughout the like
Okay.
5 years that we've been together. Majority of them have been over COVID, which has been on our own.
Yeah.
So what they'll give is sheet music for everybody to sing because it's like here's the words and here's the notes that you
Yeah,
sing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
for beatboxing, it's like boy band groove.
Yeah.
Halftime.
Okay.
Do whatever you want.
Okay, cool.
So it's like this whole time has been a guessing game of me
Yeah.
like, does this work with you?
Wait. So like, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I was wondering that because I was interested in like whether they give you like, okay, this is the note you got to hit, and then you got to figure that shit out on your own because I don't think that there's
a note with that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was getting at.
Like,
But
you don't know.
These songs are like Disney songs that they send you guys that you guys have to make acapella wise, right?
Totally, yeah.
So then they're giving, so everybody gets a very like pristine direction on what they need to do.
Yep.
And perform. Just worry about performance.
Yep.
And then they go like, figure it out, but then perform also.
Right. Yeah.
So and then in COVID, so do you guys usually do it like together, like in a studio type vibe?
Pre-COVID, yes.
Pre-COVID.
We'd meet out in LA at a studio and we'd all be there. Now, granted, we'd still be one-on-one on a mic, but we'd go like one at a time.
You don't have to send an email and ask or a submission and ask. You could just be like, what are you guys thinking?
Well, yeah, so Disney will send us the sheet music and be like, all right, cool, look it over the next couple of days. We're flying you out to LA. And then we get to LA and then we get to the studio and the engineer's already there, ready to rock, ready to roll. And then typically I'll go first because as a singer, it's like, if you don't have me, all you have is what's called the MIDI and the click, which is...
Right.
That's not groove at all.
No.
So if...
Yeah.
Way more groove there.
Now you know the tempo. Yeah.
And the feel. And so it's like, I'll go first and then the bass will go second. It's like, now that you have the drum and bass, then you can layer vocals on top of that groove.
Right.
So I would go in.
So you can get it off first. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you guys, did you try to submit your shit first so they could hear what you're going with or whatever? Like, that's a weird part. So you guys are... No?
Just show up. You just show up at the studio and... We show up to the studio and, the whole mics are set up there and everything.
Pre-COVID, right?
Yeah, pre-COVID. Yeah.
So you guys don't do that now?
Oh, yeah. Post-COVID, it is Disney sends out the sheet music. They're like, okay, here's like a general consensus of like the energy, the vibe, the vision that we have for the song, and go ahead. So, again, I would go first. So I would listen to only that MIDI and click again, and I would layer not just one of myself, because when I perform live, obviously there's just one of me, and it has always been just one of me. But when we have like multi-track, we're able to layer in as many layers as we want, which again, for the vocals is literally just them. They might double themselves. That way you hear them on the left side and right side. But for me, I have gone ham. I will layer in 15 to 40 layers of myself. Like
for the
5 different,
and the music.
For 5 different shakers, sweeps. I'm a whole orchestral percussion section right here.
That's dope.
Because it's like, I want to be able to do so many things, but it's limited as a human. So to be able to like maximize what I can do for like this fundamental groove, and then once I have that, then I can do like extra kicks or toms or shakers or whatever I want to do.
And I think it's dope that you have the production background too, because that really helps you take your beatboxing to the next level to be able to understand production. Because a lot of people, I don't know if everybody who beatbox, I would imagine they would have to have some type of like producer qualities, because in order to beatbox, you have to know how to layer, you have to know what would sound good here and everything like that.
Right.
So you kind of have to have that, but I definitely feel like that helps reinforce your your beatboxing for that.
Yeah, man. In my mind, you sound like overqualified, bro.
For real though, I'm not gonna front. For real.
And of course, like you're with Disney, so like of course they got you. You know, It's like fam, this guy, like you have. Let's just say you move on to bigger, better things, whatever the case is, when that happens, and it's no longer makes sense for you, right?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we gotta get another beatboxer, and it's like this guy's like, just
No, he could be nice wants as to
shit.
give me a call.
Yeah.
If Timberland wants to give me a call, I am all in. Get me on some new JT stuff.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, but it's true though. Like you gotta find. All right, you could find yourself a good beatboxer, right? Okay. Like that was hard. Cool.
That's definitely tough to find.
We got it. Like that's the harder part.
Right.
But then to be able to just do the motto that they have, where it's like just send out and then like go crazy, guys. You guys are great. It's like he's got to produce too.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like if you're a singer, you don't have to go crazy with layering and stuff like that. Like if you're good, you're good.
Well,
if you
singing, if they give you sheet
quality,
music, if you're a singer, they give you sheet music to
actually
what notes to hit and everything like that for the most part.
So, but like, if you got that knowing to be able to layer, and then having all this thoughts of like, I could do
producer thoughts,
the percussions, I could do a sound here, I could, you're literally like producing the beat.
Yeah.
Even though they're like, this is our beatboxer, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, here's the producer to produce your producing for this music, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, that's the I feel like a part of the element where people still to this day don't believe that it's like only a cappella. It's like, no. It's tracks. It's like, no, it's just us. Now, granted, with this day and age, particular songs, we like to use technology and mixed in with our voices, but it's still our voices that are like, let's say, manipulated like distortion to sound like a guitar.
Different effects and stuff.
Or like drums that are like drenched in reverb. So it sounds like huge, like,
right,
and like bigger than what I just did. It's just like huge.
Yeah.
It's like I can't do that by myself, so that's why I use technology.
Yeah,
but it's all just us.
But like the moral of the story is, we can make this song with not one instrument.
Well, technically, it is one instrument. Technically speaking,
no, but like
it's your voice.
Like, give me nothing but this laptop, right?
Yeah,
and my crew, and we can make any song you want.
Absolutely.
And that's a cool concept.
Yeah,
that's like a really cool concept.
True, very, very true.
How does that go? Like, so when you guys go around on tour and stuff, right? Because obviously you can't add that same level of layers and stuff like that. So do you still keep some of the background that you've already done anyways, and then know where your part is live, or is it just like we're just gonna do all of this a cappella and then sacrifice a little bit of that extra?
Yeah, I sometimes, depending on the gig, I know people will use sweetener tracks where it's like extra like sounds or anything that's in the track to help like make it feel bigger. It's just us on mic, no extra thing. So for me, I try to figure out the balance of like, you know, what's like what all can I do at once, really, to be able to not just like beatbox vomit and do as much as possible, but to follow the arc of the storytelling of each song. So that's, again, where like producing or being a singer comes into mind, because I live may do different rhythms than I do in the track because I'm following what they're doing vocally on stage at that moment.
Right.
So I'm not just beatboxing, doing my thing in my own world, but I'm able to find like the ebb and flow and be able to like lift up whatever they're doing and truly collaborate live. And that's like the blessing of like mastering a craft, is like you don't have to think technically about like, how do I make this snare sound? It's just, I just have it. So I can now just play where and have the kit in front of me and
just make up the whole drum kit.
It's there. I see it. I can see it, guys.
Yeah.
Yo, that is so cool.
He's better than the kid next door.
He is. That kid sucks, bro. That kid.
He has some kid next door that every time I come here, he's always in the garage playing drums.
Because he's using his hands. He's not using his mouth, bro.
That's so funny.
That's what Christian tells me all the time.
That's funny.
So fucked up.
That's funny.
No, that's crazy.
No, that's really cool though. That's really dope. I low key want to go to one of these shows. This sounds so cool. Man. I want to go.
Yeah.
Where are they normally at?
So we were supposed to do a U.S. tour this holiday season. It ended up not happening. And I'm not sure what tour dates are looking like upcoming. But I mean, again, with me living here, I find different ways of performing around town. So I know I'll be performing.
Let us know, bro. We'll be down to go. That'll be dope. I want to go see.
It's a different experience for sure.
But if you want to stay tuned, I am at Antonio Fernandez on Instagram. Is that all your handles on?
It's at I am Antonio Fernandez.
Yeah, at I am.
It will be in the video and then also in the description below. Like always, guys. You guys know how it goes.
Stay tuned for this, guys. See when the next Dcappellamusic is performing. Bro. That's so cool, man. And, you're interesting, man, because like you're putting yourself, because I love rock music too, right?
Yeah.
Like I love rap music. I love rock music. There's some country music I like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've always had a different respect for rock music because, like, especially like I used to play drums, right? Like when I was a kid, me and my cousins kind of had a little band, right? And I used to take so much pride in being able to just like everybody. When you're a kid, you want to do solos all the time and stuff, right? But I took pride in just holding the beat. Right? Yeah. And that's where we were like, all right, we can make something sound good or whatever. And I always listened to rock music and kind of had a respect for the drummer, always, right? Different respect for all the musicians and stuff anyways, but like always respect for the drummer because like they're showing their talent, but they're also keeping it going, right? And then those that are good are also like performing, right? Like they're throwing their sticks in the air, they're twirling, they're like doing all this stuff, you know? And I was like, you know what? That is a different respecter. That is a different respect I had because my equivalent in like hip hop, pop, rap is the producer, right? That's my equivalent of the drummer.
Yeah.
And even though rock bands have their own producers too, but like still, like that's my equivalent.
Yeah.
And what I like about you, bro, is really cool is like you're literally like in this experience that you're talking about is like all three. Yeah. So you know what it feels like to hold the beat live. You know what it feels like to still have to put a show. and then you also know what it's like to put it all together and layer it and make it sound good and this and that.
And engage with the audience to know, like, you know, what are they feeling, and engage with them. That's like one of my favorite parts of the Dcappella show. So when we were just in Japan, one of the best parts is like halfway through the show is a beatbox solo. So everybody walks off stage and it's just me. And so I'll do things like I have on one of my pinned Instagram reels where I'm layering different sounds. I do that type of thing during the show. So it's like this whole layering thing, and I jump into like 3 different other like Disney style beats with incorporating Mickey voice or whatever, and then I stop, and then I engage with the audience and I point to them and I'm like, doom, doom.
With a big crowd,
so, dude. 2,000, 3,000 people. Where it's like, doom, and I'll have them like, doom, ka. And like have it go faster. So they're a part of it.
That's dope. You're actually involved.
Yeah, because people are going to a show in some way, shape, or form because they want to be involved. Yes. That's why they're buying a ticket. They want to watch you do your thing. If they can be a part of the show, it's like, I didn't realize this is a possibility right here. You know? A unique thing that it's not like pointing them out like you, one person.
Not just singing the lyrics.
Yeah, it's like,
that's embarrassing.
Yeah, but it's like everybody together. Let's all make music together. It's like,
bro, that is the coolest fucking thing. Like, the best experience somebody would have so far at a concert like that is they're doing your favorite song and then they shut it all down so you could just hear the crowd.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the equivalent.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what you're talking about is like a step. You're like orchestrating the crowd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And it's all inspired by my favorite and like favorite artist and idol, Bobby McFerrin. I'm not sure if you know him. He's saying "Don't Worry, Be Happy." They're like,
Oh my god.
But beyond that song, that's like the freaking tip of the iceberg of what he can do. He does that where he engages the crowd in like a psychedelic way where it's like it's a guessing game, but they nail it every time because he knows how people work in like the energetic way with music. It's wild what he's able to do. So for me, like I try to do my best to like honor what Bob McFerrin has done in like the beatbox realm. Engaging
Did you think about that? Like that's something do you have to like put that forward to those putting the show on? Like, hey guys, what do you think about me? I
mean, I don't know. I forgot how it originally came together in the first tour. But after that, they understood like the structure that I came up with, and it was a collaborative process with me and Disney. Like I came up with stuff. Like actually, when we were in Japan, I couldn't teach them to beatbox this time. 2019, when we were there, I was able to teach them. But now, COVID, I wasn't able to teach them because they over there. They still like just this past summer still had masks. Were not allowed to what's called phonate, sing, speak. They couldn't shout. They couldn't go like woo at the show. Weren't allowed.
So they had to be quiet.
So they had to just applaud. That's it. That's all they could do. Damn. So I was like, oh my gosh.
It's not fun for you either because you got that.
Yeah, it's like, do you like the show or what? So
clap 3 times.
So what I had to do is now I taught them a stomp routine instead of beatboxing. So I would beatbox and they'd go like stomp, stomp. Oh shoot! They'd go like stomp, stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, clap, snap, snap, stomp, stomp, clap, like that type of thing. Because I still wanted them to be a part of it, but they couldn't
improvise.
That's smart.
I started to think about that on the spot, or did you do it before you got there?
We planned for me for that type of thing or any solos that I like to do. For me, I like to know a general structure of like, okay, block A is going to be what general genre of beat. Block B and C, same thing. And then within that, like hip hop, cool. I know it's going to be a hip hop thing. Then I can do whatever I want in that hip hop style.
Yeah.
Where it's and I know it's going to be that. So like, cool. But that could also be and it's a different beat. Or a EDM thing. Once I have those structures, then I can play and do whatever the heck I want within that. And that's where it's like the element of play and, you know, and not being like cut and paste every single time, but like each show is literally something new that each fan gets to see for the first time ever.
That's incredible. Yeah.
That's dope, bro. I want to go. You got me sold. You got me sold. I'm ready to go.
It's a regular show. It's it's a different type of
That's
feel
a cool
to it.
thing, bro. And you know what? I give you credit too, because that is like, that's very rare, right? Even though they're like, you got it from somebody. You don't see a lot of people with that much interaction in a show and stuff like that. And to bring it up and do it and be good at it with everything else, that is really cool, man. Like, man, did you have much performing experience before you signed?
I mean, I did choir and band from like 5th grade up until college.
Cruz was in choir too, weren't you?
Yeah, I did a solo.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
Was a time.
Yeah.
Call the perfect call. The world must come as one. It was a Michael Jackson song. I did it terribly. Nice. I think I laughed in the middle. I was not built for it. I was not built for it.
That's funny.
I heard myself and I was like, what are you doing?
We learned and now we're pivoting.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
An accountant.
I'm that's what I was curious. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to stick to accounting. Numbers are good.
Maybe do a podcast, huh?
That's hilarious.
Oh, man. Yeah, for me, the performance side, that like, obviously with like high school, you have that little bit of experience, but that's radically different than performing professionally. So was that first show? Well, it was a couple things. So like there was this show that was this almost like American Idol, but they were out of it was like a mobile thing. It was like out of a truck and they're going from city to city to city. And I was a part of the LA division. It was something that ended up not airing, but being on that show and having that experience as like my first gig was pretty amazing. And then I had a couple. I was able to do BGVs on the TV finale of The Voice back in 2014.
Cool.
So like
man.
I'm all dressed in black and you see me like, boop, there I am, like for a split second.
Yeah.
And I did that for a couple shows out there in LA. And then did a masterclass for session work. And that's when I really got, again, who you know. That's when I got connected with 50 professional session singers out in LA that are like the background vocalists for every major artist that is recording choirs out in LA.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like from that networking and getting the experience then led to that show at Disney. And I learned a lot in that realm as well. Also like singing. So like,
which you can sing. I want to talk about that too. Like you got a good voice. And when we talked about how he's making sounds and making beats out of sounds, he's using like background vocals and then recording it too. Like, it's really cool, bro.
You did a sound. I don't remember which one it was, but you can hear that you had a good vocal when you did. I was like, oh shit, you can tell he can sing from that. One of the sounds that I forgot what it was you did, but just now, like a minute ago, you did. I was like, oh shit,
I was about to say he hit a certain note, right?
Yeah, you hit a note when you did. I forgot what it was, but I was like, oh yeah,
that song he was saying from Bill. What was his name?
Yeah. Don't worry, be happy. Yeah, it was that when you hit like one note at the end of it, and I was like, oh shit, he can sing.
He getting little snippets. Yeah.
So you were saying you started singing more, like okay.
So it's like in vocal jazz, it's all about like straight tone. So which like straight tone is like no vibrato. Mm-hmm. So it's like you follow everybody else, and you're supposed to blend. You're not supposed to stand out. You're not supposed to have a soloistic voice.
It.
Yeah. So it's just like. So it's like that's it, cool, clean, whatever. But it's not a pop vocal that I learned in the Disney acapella show. It's like finding my voice for me as a singer, and I'm sure for many people that are learning how to sing. You learn to sing by singing songs from your favorite artists. So you sound like Adele, or you sound like Jamie Foxx if he like sings a little bit there, or Ray Charles. You sound like Yeba, but what's important as a vocalist that's like up and coming and getting this experience and gaining your own brand artistry is like finding your voice. So that's what I really started doing in that first Disney show was like, how do I want to deliver stuff? Because I love my background in jazz and I know that that's a profound part of my artistry, but I also want to be as versatile as I can be. That way people are like, hey, can you do this rock thing? I'm like, I'll do my best. And I did it. I've done a couple rock sessions as well. I've rapped. I've done like Lil Jon hype stuff. On The Masked Singer, did like the backing tracks for a Lil Jon track that they did is my voice.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like I had a friend be like, "Hey, can you do Lil Jon voice?" And again, it's the whole thing about like saying yes and figuring it out later.
Yeah.
It's like yes, you send in the submission. Worst case, they'd be like, nope, that's not what we're looking for.
Who cares?
Yeah. But she said, boom, you got the gig. I was like, yo, I am a soft, like, R&B vocalist who just scored a Lil Jon, like, yeah. It's like being able to be versatile, say yes, figure it out, expands the palette, and shows you what you're truly capable of. And like that to like, I did a gig with Jodie Benson, who is the voice of Ariel from the original Little Mermaid. Right. There was a famous family that hired a lot of money, paid Disney to put this cabaret together. So she did her own cabaret show by herself, but I, in 2 days, had to learn all of the music from The Little Mermaid. I had to learn all these lines, all the lyrics, all this choreography, and I was like the Sebastian MC for this event that was happening in 2 days, and I had to memorize all of that and then go perform it. And I was like, I can't do that. No, I can't, but I did it. And that, to me, has showed me, like, whenever I have a gig that's like a very short window of time, it's like, yo, if I can do that,
Yeah.
This is
do
cake.
anything, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so dope, bro.
That is
Because
dope.
at the end of the day, it's also like, that's why getting gigs that, even though you don't, it's not your dream, that do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, if you're good at it, if it
You gotta
helps.
put the work
That's
in.
why I like the goal of like, I want to make money making music.
Yeah.
Right? I like that goal because it's like, that could be anything.
Right.
Right? And if you think about it that way, then like, especially when you're up and coming and stuff, you don't worry about like some people are blocking their blessings early because they're so focused on like that end result. You know what I mean? And it's like, wow, like really? Like you're not gonna like not everybody that wants to be a producer is thinking about, oh, I'm doing all this for Ariel and stuff like that, right? But it pushed you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you were saying, every time you say yes to something you didn't think you could do, that pushed you to do something you didn't think you could do. As far as lyrics and or vocals and all that extra stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're just super good at beats. Kind of thing.
Right. And it's always good to know your niche, know your strong suit, and whatever career that you're doing. So it's like, that's how you know people are going to call me because I'm that person for XYZ.
Yeah.
Finding out how to be as versatile as possible, but also finding that strong suit is also important. And it just takes time and experience and patience.
So you said you did a masterclass for a session masterclass? Or?
Yeah. So Tim, who started my career and everything, he's like the leading host of this event that happens like once a year or once every other year. That's called the Session Singing Intensive, SSI. And so it's literally wherever he is, Nashville, Orlando, LA, and it's there for 2 days where you learn, what do you do as a session artist? Like, what does it look like? You stand around the microphone, you look at the sheet music, and you read it.
Right.
Or you
what
do
is
the
a
best.
session artist for people that might not
Yeah,
understand
so
what
a session
that is?
artist is, so let's say Yeba. It's like, I want to make this track. She talks to her producer. Her producer's like, great, awesome. We'll hire these horns. We'll hire these singers. Those singers that are going to be singing those BGVs on her track, those are the session singers.
Got you.
So they might be friends of hers, or they might be high-level people who can like look at music and without even knowing it, playing it before, ever before, can like look at it and sing it.
Help you out.
Sight
provide
reading.
it.
Sight reading, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what a session
Got
singer
you.
is.
So it's like gig work on the like, which is ironic because like in the music space, a lot of shit it's all gig work, but it's like it's kind of like the equivalent. Okay, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So you did a masterclass on that, huh?
Which was so amazing.
Yeah.
It was incredible. Tim is like a legend. Absolute
Man,
legend.
that's cool. And that's that same connection from school, huh? Like technically, like
Yeah.
if you had to root it back.
Yeah.
Man, that's so cool.
I mean, bro, like I was just studying school, doing the best I can, beatboxing, and I literally had someone that believed in me, that believed in what's possible, that said, hey, I want to do what I can to help you. You have to meet me there. You have to put in the work. There's no one can do the work for you.
Nope.
But I have this open opportunity. If you want to pursue it, come with me. I'll help you as best I can. And, you can trust your gut if the person actually cares about you or not. I could feel totally cared about my heart, too, because it wasn't just like job. It was like fulfilling experience that, it's job, it's money, but it's also like what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
And he could see that in me and like help pull that out of me. And it's like, bro, if you can get like a mentor or even a friend that just wants to help push you along, like, so I'm sure you guys experience like doing
For
this
sure,
podcast,
bro.
just one person versus three.
Yeah.
It's different, man.
Yeah. No. For sure. There's pros and cons for sure.
Totally.
Yeah, that's 100%. And I like that too because, like some people that think they're as good as you, maybe they are as good as you, right?
Maybe.
But they didn't work hard enough, right? But my point is they might look at you and be like, man, that Antonio guy, he's lucky, bro. That motherfucker got lucky, man. Like some guy in Seattle is like, I was just as good as him, bro. You know what I mean? This is bullshit. He's lucky. And it's like, no, luck is when that preparation and opportunity meet.
Absolutely.
And that opportunity you got to work for, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't even know you were working for it. You thought you were just going to, I'm going to join this group. I like this club. The acapella club is super cool. I get to go to LA. That's where I'm trying to like do work at anyways. Let's see where this goes. And then opportunity comes and you're like ready for it.
Yeah.
Kind of like your friends that helped you out. Like that's super cool too. But it's like, that's not lucky,
No.
like people see that as lucky and it's like, yeah, it's lucky, but you need luck to be great or successful, right?
Yeah.
But if there's people that get lucky that aren't ready for it, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather be somebody that's ready, that can't catch a break, than somebody that can't catch a break and can't get his shit together. You know what I mean? Like, like there's two people in this world, and there's a moment in life where those two guys look at each other and like, fuck, we're the same person, right? But one of them got their shit together and one of them don't. But they both can't catch a break.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like there's a difference. And you got to keep working, and if you're ready, you get that spark, you meet somebody or something. And man, that like, especially like as we get older, as you get older, I'm sure like you did master classes and stuff, you're going to start finding people that looked like you when you were younger and doing stuff like you did.
Yeah.
And you're going to give that guy a shot, or you're going to help him.
Right.
And you hope when you're a mentor or something like that this kid takes that opportunity
serious.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever. And what sucks too is the people that are ready, or people that do have that talent or that get kind of like pushed away from some of these mentor types because maybe they had so many of those, right? Like, look, man, you're just another like one of these kids that keeps coming to me, and I've tried a couple, and look, this is how it goes, and this is how I think this happens. You know, like I don't know, man. I just think that's like props, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I was gonna say too, like I know a lot of people that move to LA for career aspirations, like whether it's dance, whether it's acting, or music, and I think you kept telling stories left and right. LA, in LA, in LA, in LA. You never lived in LA, right?
Right. Yeah.
So how does that go? So you just kept searching for opportunities locally that takes you there, or opportunities that are there, and then you just make yourself available and attend? Like,
yeah, so that happened. So it was that last year in school. Actually, before I moved to Florida, so I guess the year prior, and that summer was coming along, and I had met Tim during that competition and everything, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing this summer 2014?" I was like, "I'm working at a winery." He was like, "You want to come down to LA?" I was like, "Yup, yes." And literally that day at my job, I was like, "Okay, I'm putting in my 2-week notice." I told him my 2-week notice, and by the end of my shift, I was like, "I'm quitting today." Literally same day, quit. And they're like, ended up being cool about it, but. That move, I then literally stayed with him. His family opened up their home.
Wow. That's amazing.
The producer of Glee opened up their home. Be like, we believe in you, we trust you, and we want to help you as best as we can. So for a month and a half, I stayed with them. I got to sit in on sessions. I got to do a couple gigs, get hired for a couple gigs. And then I stayed with my cousin for the remainder of the summer, but hustled as much as I could, and then went back to school. That whole time, like, am I going back to school? Tim was like, don't go back to school. Stay here. We have a lot of work for you. It's going to be successful. And that whole time I was like, I'm going to go back to school. And look, lo and behold, you would think like, dude, you just messed up your opportunity of being out in LA. What the hell are you doing? And then he got the gig for me out here in Orlando. And it's like, and then with the Disney Records, which is based out in LA, I've just been flying back to LA, like back and forth, like the blessings of like
that's
living
patience,
in one place,
bro.
Woo, yeah,
that's patience, man.
Yeah.
And then hindsight 2020. I mean, would you have preferred to do what you were gonna do out there? You think?
It's a good question,
you know.
And I know for me, part of like I've always wanted to live out in LA. You know, as an artist, as you said, dancers, artists, like whoever, creatives. It's like that place you go to, and I've been contemplating this whole time. I'm like, LA is definitely a place I would love to give a try to at one point. To know that like I gave it my best shot at the right time. I've never felt that it's the right time yet.
Yeah, that's the key. Yeah.
You know? So it's like, and it's a big pond of many fish that are freaking talented, have connections, have money.
And you're multifaceted. Like, it's not like, you know, like the average person that goes out there looking for opportunity wants, like, where's the singers at? Where's this at? Where's that at? Like, your chances of capitalizing, it's a bad word, but like taking advantage of great opportunities are high, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like if you got a cartoon guy coming to you, you could help him out. If there's a rapper, you could help him out. A songwriter, you could help him out. You could, you know.
Yeah. It's like now I have the clout working with Disney. Being signed to a record label. That's what every freaking artist wants. And it's like if I moved there then, I wouldn't have the clout that I have now. So it's like I could be even more patient because there's been a lot that's been happening even just in the past week with production stuff. Like connecting with the Orlando artists community and all these different people that want to write music and collab and hang out. And so I'm like, okay, I'm listening to God, I'm listening to life and trying my best to not force things to happen, but also not fall asleep. So like do what I can daily to stay awake, stay alive, stay engaged, stay moving, stay contributing. Because again, I don't mean this in a morbid way, but it's been something, especially during COVID times, that I've just really been trying to remind myself of that we're all going to pass away at some point.
Yes.
And it's like, it literally could be in a month and a half. So not in a morbid way, but in like a
realistic way.
What can I do between now and a month and a half to live the most grounded, present, engaged, fruitful lifestyle that I can?
Hell yeah.
That's not just for me, but just for life in general.
Yeah. And I like that. I like what you said there, because it's not easy every day. No. Like, that's what you're getting at. Like, you wake up and if you have no opportunities and you look around and you're like, oh, you know, it's like, it's not easy to stay active. When we say stay active, that doesn't mean like wake up. You know what I mean? Like, no, like do things towards that goal and stuff like that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Bro.
Absolutely.
Man, and it's crazy too, because I give you props, because so many people, and maybe it's because we're from Orlando, like we're from Florida, but like I get a lot. It's tunnel vision. Like, if this is my dream, there's nothing better than LA. And sometimes it's like LA or New York, right? And then it's like, yeah, but don't like you think that's the only thing ever? You know what I mean? Like, you don't think there's anybody getting like better situations than you're getting right now? Even when you go to LA for a certain amount of time, or New York for a certain amount of time, you don't think there's somebody in South Carolina or Orlando that's doing something better? Like, literally where you left to get opportunities, there's somebody that came here for that same reason, and capitalizing off of it and taking it to places that they probably couldn't have gotten if they would. Like, you're talking about how you said no to LA and then it led to Orlando, which is weird. You know, like, you don't hear that a lot.
Right.
That's really cool, bro.
Yeah.
It's dope journey, dope person.
I don't know too. Like, I was gonna say, because you had ton of experience before. It sounds like you had like a bunch of cool things that happened before Disney, but like not necessarily like performing, right? Like on the level that, and then big crowd, you know? I wonder too, because we've had like a bunch of artists on, and I try to relate it to, like, if you're doing like a stand-up, would you rather have like a small crowd and it's just you, right? And there's that chance, like, that's anxiety, right? Like, I got to put on a show. If it's a bad crowd, like, we've had rappers on where there's like, I've had a show before where nobody was like, you know, like, it was, and I have to like keep jumping and putting on a show. Like, that's rough, man. Versus like a big crowd where it's like high anxiety, like, oh my God, look at all these people. But also, like, if we put on a show, it's a show. You know, like, we're not just putting on a show and people don't care about what's going on here. Right. Do you feel like you just kind of like that accelerated your stage performance experience because you kind of just jumped into the big leagues a little bit? Or do you think, like, let's just say, because I want to talk about your ultimate goal and stuff, right? Like, maybe like what could be after Disney when you do a show by yourself or something, you know, do you think that's a different feeling? Which you already kind of do, like you said. You did, like, with a big-ass crowd, too. Do you think you'd be a little more nervous for, like, you're trying to pull your people to a show or something like that? When
it comes to nerves, I actually had a guy that has done Broadway shows coach me on one day of coaching, talking about, like, Broadway and going on stage and being nervous in front of thousands of people. And he taught me that day that I feel like a lot of times most people are like, I got nerves. And they try to like fight it. Like, I don't want to be nervous right now. I gotta like cool down. I gotta chill out. That way I can perform.
Like, this is a wrong feeling right now.
Yeah, this is wrong. Like, trying to reject it. And he was like, no. First off, either you're nervous or you're excited. So knowing the difference between the both. And then also realizing that whatever you're doing, if you're getting cotton mouth, if your heart rate's going up or whatever, if you're shaking a little bit, what it is not nerves. It's your body preparing for what's about to happen. So instead of it thinking of like what's going on, it's almost like the arsenal that's getting ready to do what it is that you're about to do. Yeah. That, like, if we're chilling right here and then we're going on stage, it's like, there's a lot of people. It's a shocking experience. But like, if your body's getting ready, this is like the revving up of the engine, a well-oiled machine. That way, when you walk out there, like, you know that it's actually something that's partnering with you. That way, when you go out there, it's what leverages you to be able to do what it is that you got to do. You need that adrenaline to be in front of thousands of people. Yeah, you know?
I love that.
So that was big when in regards of nerves.
That's a bomb.
Yeah,
that's a bomb.
So helpful. Helpful.
It is crazy because it doesn't really sound like too crazy, like in the retrospect, but like that perspective is huge.
Because then if it's like 2 people or if it's 200,000 people, nonetheless, like you feel more at ease with yourself.
Yeah.
And for me, again, no matter how many people, it's about connecting with people.
Yeah.
So for me, I want to connect with however many people are out in the house. And if it's 2 people, or if let's say it's 50 people and 48 of them are not having it, but 2 people are like, hey,
Yeah.
I am performing to those 2 people.
Yeah, man.
The other
Yeah.
people can whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
But I am like connecting with them. And if it's a show where no one's performing, I am performing for myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool. This is practice.
I love
I can
this.
do whatever I want.
That's good. That's a good.
You have a really good positive outlook, on
Bro,
that thing.
and-
that's a great thing to have, honestly.
It's crazy because we talk about books, we talk about perspective, we talk about all that shit all the time, and that like
That mindset.
that's why
yeah.
you go to somebody that's like an expert, because it's not about like we all have these feelings, right? And then there's like a lot of people that excel, right? And those are the people that they get nervous and then they go fuck it. Like that's their version of dealing with it, right? Like and then they go out there and they're like, let's go, you know. And what they don't know is they kind of like that's how they did it. And when they say that that's how you do it to somebody that's really like having problems with anxiety before a show or something, they're like, yeah, I can't do that, brother. Like I can't just say fuck it and go out there and be good, you know?
Right.
So it takes that word, that verbiage matters.
Yeah.
Where it's like your body's just getting ready for what's about to happen. That makes perfect sense in my mind.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
like you got all this kinetic energy just building up because you got you. How do you not get a little bit excited when you're about to go in front of thousands of people?
Right.
Like how do you not and take that to anything? Like you got an exam.
Especially when it's like your first time doing it, it's like
Yeah.
you've been working so hard for that moment. Like, how do you not have
and it's
all that
here now.
emotion,
Like,
you know?
gotta do it.
Right.
But some people, if you can't see it that way, like separate nervousness from excitement.
Yeah, that
right?
was
Like-
a good intro. Yeah,
If you can't do that, then a lot of people that even were ready, like they were excited, but they thought they were nervous. They cripple themselves when the
Totally.
moment comes because of that whole pre-show shit they went through,
Yeah.
or pre-test, or pre-interview, or pre-whatever the case is. They cripple themselves.
Pre-first date.
Pre-first date. Yeah, like, oh, is this girl gonna
Exactly.
like me? How is this gonna go? And it's like, bro, you're getting ready to like have this new experience. Like you're excited for this experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you gotta just know that you're excited, and like you said, that's your body reacting to something. And when you could think that we talk about it, like with Santi about, you know, like that separating your mind and body, right? Like that's your body creating it's preparing itself for whatever this is.
Yeah.
Or it's your mind preparing itself for what it's about to go through. You're about to go through something not normal.
Yes.
You know?
Right.
Right? It's interesting too because I did stand up one time, right? And I drank a lot before I went on. And it's because and I did okay, like it didn't hinder me, but it's because of like that excitement. Like I never did it before. I'm like, whoo,
you didn't drink that much though.
but like
You had a buzz
so
though. You
I
weren't,
was
like,
with
drunk.
Christine. We were at a restaurant. I had like 4 beers, and Christine was like, "Damn, like really? Like it's like we ate here for 45 minutes. You had 4 beers, you know?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, I got to get myself ready. Like I can't be nervous on stage. I got to pretend like I'm relaxed and stuff like that." But that would have helped me, that conversation.
Yeah.
Where it's like, "Yo, you're excited, man. Like you think you got some jokes, you know? Like you got this going on. Like you're gonna perform. Like you never performed. Like." And some of the comedians I really love, they make sure they're completely sober because they want to like feel it. Because he knows like this. I want to take advantage of this excitement, you know. And obviously, the more and more you do it, you don't feel that as much. So like he probably is really trying to savor that. But it's like I want to feel this excitement because when I go out on stage, it makes me perform better. Like the more excited I get, the more nerves I get and stuff. Like it makes me like perform better.
Yeah.
And it kind of never made sense to me until you kind of put it that way, where it's like separating nerves from excitement, and how could your body not be preparing yourself for whatever this event is?
Yeah.
And then accepting it. That's kind of like the person simply saying, "Ah, fuck it," you know, and go, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. Like
You
that's
just blew Cruz's mind.
you did.
Great. Damn.
My fiance goes
Whoa.
through that. Like when we were in college and we'd study, like I used to tutor her all the time. Like I'm like, I know you know this. Like
Yeah,
when
my
I
girl
asked
said
you
that.
last night, like you were telling me everything. You texted me 50 times today about this test. Don't you dare go into that test and cripple yourself in the moment. You know, like you know what you know. You're gonna get what you get. And
Yeah.
sometimes when it's something so finite, like a pass fail or an audition, right?
Right.
So an audition's like it's a pass fail right there.
Right.
Not crippling in the moment, just kind of saying like, I'm excited. It's okay. We're gonna do this. that not a lot of people can do that, bro. And I think it's because not a lot of people have heard that verbiage. Right. I love that.
That's why when he told me that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's huge, bro. It's huge.
And that, like, that's so cool, bro. It's like, reach out to people as much as you can, because somebody on Broadway just blew my mind.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what you think you can't learn something from somebody from Broadway? Like, you're an accountant? Like, what? It's like, yeah, no. Tell me more. You know, like, I do interviews, I do this, I do that, I do meetings or something like that. And it's like, your body's preparing you for the confrontation, for whatever the case is. Yeah. Man, that's so cool, bro. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that was great. I like that. That was a bombshell for sure.
How many other, like, those are great. Do you, like, have a lot of mentors right now and stuff like that? Or, like,
not a lot at the moment. I have a few in a few different circles, a few different spots. I have a family friend life coach. So like, she's been the person that's like helped me in like some profound moments in college of like, what degree am I going to get? And she's the person that asked me through the conversation that we had. She's like, okay, I know you like music. I know you like teaching, and you're about to be a music teacher by going through this school. Do you want to teach music and make music on the side? Or do you want to make music and then teach on the side? I was like,
that one.
Make music, teach on the side. It's like, cool, you're switching to your degree. And so like, having her in some profound moments has been like,
to give her the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I've had a couple counselors throughout the years as well. And then Tim Davis, I've connected with him every so often. And then like other friends that, you know, being in the industry, you're connected with people that are like, you would consider higher up than you. But if it's a good connection that you have, you can always like learn either by example, just watching them do their thing, be like, maybe I should reframe the way that I'm doing stuff. That way you can do it similarly to how they're doing it. Or friends that are like, you can actually connect with and talk with and like jam out ideas.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Before we wrap it up, I want to say, you said gospel singer, you mentioned God and stuff a lot. Like, are you pretty like religious? Are you like very like, has that been a big factor for you too? You know,
it has been a big factor for me. Yeah, for me, I have had so many profound moments that I identify it as divine or as God. Some type of higher form that has obviously been not from me. From words that I've said that was like, I never rehearsed that. I don't know where that just came from, and it felt so real. To moments where I'm like, I don't know what decision to make, and feeling a voice speak to me. At moments where I'm like, okay, all right, I guess we'll follow that. And it's led me down the right path, because it's like a word that's affirming that I like feel in me. I'm like, it almost feels like a father saying like, look, it's going to be okay. Like, follow this, be patient, XYZ. So with those experiences, to me, I'm like, okay, those are undeniable to believe and like to dig in deeper to that. So for me, I enjoy the process of just deepening that relationship with God and seeing where that takes me. So I'm kind of a combination between like Christian and spiritual. I'm not like full on Christian right now. You're
not like religious. You're just very
and I also don't deny that, because again, for me, I've had enough experiences where it's like, can't deny that.
I think
I'm on the same level with you.
Yeah, man.
I'm the same way. Like,
you really believe that this one religion is the right religion, but you know there's that higher power up there that actually is helping with a lot of other things.
I think it's important, man. Like, I used to hear it in football all the time. It's like, you can't be out here for you, and that applies to life. You can't be doing this just for you.
Right.
Like, you got to believe in something higher.
Yeah.
Whether it's God, whether it's just some type of higher power. Like, that's why, like, not everybody wants to do it for their family, sadly, right? Like, not everybody wants to do it for certain things. So it's like, you got to believe in something bigger than you, and that helps you stay patient, humble. That's what helps you say yes when you're not sure, you know, because you're like, you know, it's not all on me. Like, there's something that could make me do something better, right? Like, there is something out here greater than me. So it's, you know, like, I like that. There's like a bunch of different levels of things as we just went through your journey and what you're doing and stuff, that I think those that want to be artists and good artists, whatever the case is, you're doing a bunch of different shit. So it's like, pull from that, because that applies to a lot of things, bro.
Yeah.
I really love that, man. Anything else you want to get off, bro? We just hit an hour. I love it, man.
I love it, man. Well, I appreciate you guys having me here.
No, we appreciate you coming on, bro. This was a great one.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, for me, I guess I just hope that anybody that's listening gains the inspiration that they need in order to flow through whatever they need to flow through, and that this is something that helps them to make that next leap, that next step. That way they can truly pursue the life that they are meant to live.
Yeah, man.
Amen. I appreciate it.
Hey, give him a follow. Check up with him. You just heard the story. It's not stopping nowhere soon. No
description
time soon.
below.
Oh,
Yes, yeah. Sir. This is great, man. Thanks for coming on, bro. Super
Absolutely,
awesome.
Appreciate
episode,
you, man.
Thank you, bro.
All right, guys. Pocket watch out.
Out.